They started by building engines to fight in a war. Today, they build engines to dominate the Autobahn. This is not just a car company. This is BMW. And its evolution is a war story, a love story, a combustion symphony. And it's far from over. Let's go back, way back, to 1916. BMW, or Bayerische Motorenwerke, was born from the ashes of a world war, forged in the urgency of aviation. Their very first product, the BMW Cellfire aircraft engine that climbed higher and faster than anything else in the German arsenal. And while most car guys still argue whether the blue and white roundel represents a spinning propeller or just the Bavarian flag, here's the truth. BMW's DNA started in the sky, but it was always destined for the road. After the war, when building aircraft was banned, BMW pivoted. Motorcycles, farm equipment, whatever kept the lights on. And then, in 1928, they bought a struggling car manufacturer named Dixie. The result? The BMW 3/15, a license-built version of the Austin 7. It had 15 horsepower, top speed, maybe 50 mph, downhill with a tailwind, but it was their first step on four wheels. What followed was something no one expected. In 1936, BMW released the 328 Roadster. Sleek, smooth, race-ready. Under the hood, a 2L straight 6 with 80 horsepower in the 1930S. It was light, agile, and won race after race, including the Mille Miglia and the Nürburgring. It was here that BMW first proved something car geeks would never forget. It's not about raw power, it's about balance. But then, history repeated itself. WI hit. Factories were bombed. Germany fell. BMW was broken again. They didn't even produce cars until 1952, and when they did, they started with the Isetta, a bubble car. One door, tiny wheels, 12 horsepower, but it sold. It was practical. It saved BMW from financial collapse. Then came the Neue Klasse, a bold new vision of what a German sports sedan could be. With the BMW 1500 and later the now legendary 2002, BMW found its formula. Small, agile chassis, rear-wheel drive, manual gearbox, naturally aspirated fun, especially the 2002 TEI with its mechanical fuel injection, 130 HP, and a chassis so lively it danced around corners. This wasn't just a sedan, this was the start of the ultimate driving machine. And then it happened. In 1972, BMW launched its M division, BMW Motorsport, GmbH, to dominate the track. But by 1978, they'd go road legal with their first M car, the BMW M1. Mid-gen, 3.5L inline-6, 273 horsepower. Designed by Giugiaro, it looked Italian but handled like a Teutonic scalpel. And in racing form, it hit over 470 HP and redlined like a banshee. But BMW wasn't done. They wanted to build something even crazier, a four-door that could eat Ferraris for breakfast. In 1985, they took the straight 6 from the M1 and dropped it into a luxury sedan. The E28 M5 was born. 286 horsepower, rear-wheel drive. It was the world's first true super sedan. Then, BMW created a monster for the street and the track. The E30 M3. Boxy, angry, dogleg gearbox. A 2.3 LS, 14 four-cylinder, revving past 7,000 RPM, putting out 192 horsepower in road trim and 300 plus HP in race trim. This car dominated touring car racing. In fact, it became the most successful touring car in history. That, in 2005, they lost their minds. In the best way, the E60 M5 debuted with a 5L V10, naturally aspirated, inspired by BMW's Formula One engines, as 85B50 engine, 500 HP, 8250 RPM redline. It was the most insane, most exotic sedan ever made, and it sounded like God's own chainsaw. But emissions killed the V10. BMW pivoted to turbocharging. The F10 M5 brought a twin-turbo 4.4L V8, the S63. It made 560 HP, but some tuners pushed it to 700 plus without touching internals. Then the F90 M5 went AWD, but with a twist. At the push of a button, you could go full rear-wheel drive. drifts on demand, and the M5 CS? That was the crown jewel, 627 H060 in 2.9 seconds. Carbon seats, Nürburgring lap time 7:29, all in a luxury sedan. Meanwhile, BMW's smallest M car, the M2, evolved too. The latest G87 M2 has 453 HP, a manual gearbox, and rear-wheel drive. It's the final frontier of analog fun. But the future? It's electric. BMW entered the EV world with the i8, a plug-in hybrid supercar with a carbon chassis and butterfly doors. Underpowered? Sure, but revolutionary. Now they've dropped the i4 M50, fully electric, 536 HP, and torque that hits like a freight train. Then came the XM label Red, a plug-in hybrid SUV with 748 horsepower. Yes, 748. The most powerful BMW ever made. It's big, it's heavy, it's bold, and it's fast enough to give supercars nightmares. And in just a few years, we'll see a fully electric M3, possibly AWD, possibly over 800 HP, all silent, all savage. So, where does that leave us? From 15 horsepower in the 1920S to nearly 750 today. From straight sixes that hummed to V10s that screamed. From carburetors to carbon fiber, BMW has done what few automakers ever could. They didn't just survive war, recessions, emissions crackdowns, and changing consumer tastes. They evolved. And through it all, they've stayed true to one thing: the drive, the balance, the grip, the soul of the machine. Because when you're behind the wheel of a BMW, whether it's a 90S M3 or a modern M5 CS, what you feel isn't just engineering, it's a century of obsession. It's 100 years of innovation under your right foot. If that lit something inside you, don't just hit subscribe. Join the Brotherhood of Redliners, because this channel, we don't just review cars. We worship combustion. We study chassis codes like scripture. And when the tires scream, we call it music. Hit that like button if you've ever driven a car that made your heart race. Drop your favorite BMW chassis in the comments. E30, E46, F90, or maybe what's next? And share this with the one friend who still doesn't get why we love Bimmers. This is more than metal, this is BMW, and this is just the beginning.